Shalom Israel. The ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Big 5-0, the 50th annual Lord's Passover. Commanding General Yahanna bought out the entire hotel. Lock in your hotel room now. For more info, contact Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Call now to secure your room for the Passover. To get your rooms at a low rate, call Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Friday, Hebrew Academy Trials. Saturday, the Passover. Sunday, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let's all celebrate under one roof what the Most High did to the Egyptians.
Kill them all and done. Kill them all and done. Tall rifle all and done. Boy like I don't.
3 blocks down, you go down to Lenox, down to Lexington, you're gonna see brothers that are still strung out on heroin. Brothers that are still getting high on crack cocaine. It's 2019 and black and Hispanics are still on heroin that the government brought inside this country. Don't sit here and ask why we're preaching hate. Ask me why the White House is a trap house. Ask me why Nancy Reagan was a trap queen. Y'all want to go and mourn George Bush when he was the head of the CIA during the Iran-Contra scandal. You're not going to stop me yet. I'm not done. You don't run this show. We run this show. You understand? Harlem ain't fully gentrified yet. So what you can do is sit back, take a seat, and shut your mouth, because I don't care what you agree with. Because realistically, let me explain everything to my people. We're not here for you. I didn't come out here to talk to you. You see this? Oh, where's the sign? You see this sign right here? Do you find yourself on this sign, Mr. White Man? No, you don't. So guess what? This message isn't for you. Move around. Take a walk. Take a hike. Have a good time. You understand that? I'll tell you who's racist. You know what's racist? Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump got in office because of racism. Because he likes to call Haiti a shithole country. Because he likes to think that Mexicans are destroying this country when Mexicans are building skyscrapers in downtown for Donald Trump. You understand that? You want to know who's racist? Your president, who Puerto Rico is a part of America, decided to not even go and hand out food to the so-called Puerto Ricans. He's just going to start throwing things. Just start throwing them because he doesn't respect black and Hispanics. You want to know what's racist? George Washington was racist. George Washington was worse than Donald Trump. He owned slaves. He had a plantation. When the Dutch and the French came to visit it, they turned around and said, these are the worst living conditions even for a goddamn slave. Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner, was a rapist. Half your presidents have been rapists, murderers, pedophiles, and slave owners. You want to talk around there, we're racist. You know what racism is? With black people, let me tell y'all something. We cannot be racist. And when I say black, I'm talking about Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, because y'all are niggas too. You just speak Spanish and swim good. The white man hates us too, damn it. Straight up and down. You cannot be a racist because you do not control you do not control gentrification. Gentrification is a racist practice. It's the raising of rent to move our people out so they can bring white people in. You understand? It's a very simple process. In order for you to be racist, you would actually have a stakes inside the politics of America to create laws and legislations that would be able to affect another race of people. We don't do any of that. We have no power or control over any of that. But you know what happens? White people see strong and free black and Hispanic men who don't walk the block in purses. You understand? Who don't walk the block in skinny jeans and ain't soft and ain't effeminate, and he wants to turn around and try to stop this show. He wants to try to stop the most downtrodden people on the earth from raising up. What do you think the whole point of them bringing heroin in? You understand that? Listen, the civil rights movement failed us. But the civil rights movement was at least a movement where our people decided to say that we need to stick together because we're getting destroyed in America. So as we started to unify, they said not only Are we going to infiltrate their leaders? We're going to send drugs in. The heroin didn't work, in came the cocaine. When the cocaine wasn't enough, now we got crack cocaine. When that's not enough, now they bring the pills in. It's never a problem until white people are affected.
The PCP.
When white people, PCP, any drug you can think of, you can thank the government for that. You understand? And it's never a problem until, like it's a crack epidemic, but then it's an opioid crisis. Why is it a crisis? Because all the white boys on Staten Island are ODing. Now that white children are dying, now it's a problem. But when Trayvon Martin died, it didn't matter. Now they can auction off his gun for what was it? How much? $500,000. They auctioned off the gun that killed Trayvon Martin.
And Donald Trump.
You see the problem?
And Donald Trump saying he is going to dump the Puerto Ricans off in New York City.
You see the problem? Like, so don't sit here and turn around. This white man tried to say we're racist. Let me tell you something. You know what we are? He tried to say that we preach hate. You understand? We are not a hate group. We are a love group. We love every single black and Hispanic as if they are our brother and they are our sister. As if we came out the same goddamn womb. If you harm one of us, you harm all of us. And that's how it's got to be. And if it was like that, like, how did Harlem go from the Harlem Renaissance to Soha?
Soha. Picture that.
How the hell did that happen? The first millionaire in America was a black woman by the name of Madam C.J. Walker, who came out of Harlem. How the hell did Harlem get this destroyed?
Look at this.
You want to know why? Because we want to love everybody but ourselves. You understand? Maybe, look, you want to hear something? Racism works. Now, the reason why it's hard to hear that is because we've been on the wrong end of racism. It's because we've been on the end of the noose. We've been the one who's been massacred. We're the ones who have been oppressed. So how about we just do what everybody else does and love each other first?
Yes.
Because without having a certain sense of nationalism, you can't have Chinatown.
Right.
Like, the Chinese live next to the Chinese.
Right.
Try to get, like you see this business down here?
Monument.
This is one of the only black-owned businesses left on Malcolm X Boulevard. Isn't that sad?
Slow it down.
We in Harlem right now. None of these stores over here are owned by black and Hispanics.
None.
But this one right on the corner is this Jamaican spot. Now, if that Jamaican spot was to move to Chinatown, you think they could get in?
No.
They would never get in. So how is it that the Chinese and the white man and the Jewish man and the Arabs set up their stores in here when we can't get stores in Bollywood? We can't get stores in Chinatown? And then when the Chinese do set up shop here, do they hire the kids from the neighborhood to run deliveries?
No.
Do they hire brothers and sisters to sit behind the counter?
No.
Only until they learn English. Once they get hello, how may I help you? Then it's over. Now your black behind's back on the street. Done deal. But they don't put nothing back into the community. You could be 20 cents short on your meal. They could have been there 10 years. They ain't giving you your food. You want to know why? Because the Chinese are racist. But nobody sits there and turns around and says they're racist. The Arabs are racist. They killed Eric Garner for selling loose cigarettes, for selling untaxed cigarettes. How many Lucy's has Habibi sold us? How much heroin is being pushed out of these bodegas? But they don't run up inside there and put Habibi in a headlock until he says, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Because if a white man choked out an Arab, if the NYPD put an Arab in a headlock and choked him out on camera, let me tell you, Burlington Coat Factory would get blown the hell up. You understand that? The Arabs would hijack a goddamn plane and fly it into Burlington. Because you want to know why? Arabs love each other. They love each other. They stand by each other. That one Asian got choked out on that airline. That airline still can't get into some Asian countries. Because the Asians realize something. The Asians turn around and this is what they realize. They realize that other people who look like them, who eat like them, who speak like them, are wearing the same jersey. If you wear the same jersey, we're on the same team. The problem is, because they took our identity, because we think we're blacks and Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, because some of us replaced our identity with a religion. You ask a black man, what's your nationality? He'll say, hell, I don't know, Christian. Christianity is a religion. Islam is a religion. It's not an identity. What we're pushing ain't got nothing to do with religion. You take a look at this sign again. This is our identity before slavery. This is our identity before Christopher Columbus, before the conquistadors, before the French, before the English occupation, before their colonization, and before slavery. That's who the hell we are. We need a common identity. If we have a common identity, then now we know who's on our team. Now let me give you the important part. If we start to realize who's on our team, we know who's on the opposing team. We know who's trying to score on us. We know who's trying to catch a W on us. And then maybe we'll stop holding so many goddamn L's. Maybe we'll actually be able to rise if we can have enough strength and enough freedom to say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That his way of life has failed and destroyed us, and American society is in opposition to our people. Maybe then we'd be able to rise. Maybe then we'd be able to get out of this impoverished position. And the only way we can do that, the only way we can fix and heal us, is with this book, the Bible. I'm not talking about Christianity. You go inside that Christian church, Jesus is a white man. You go inside the Bible, Jesus Christ is a hardcore black man from the ghetto, just like you. Just like us. Thank you, brother. You understand that? It said Jesus Christ came from Nazareth. Nazareth was the hood. It said, could any good thing come from Nazareth? Could any good thing come from 139th and Lenox? Could any good thing come from Spanish Harlem? From Compton? From Baltimore? It's the same goddamn equivalent. Jesus Christ was a brother, man. That's the greatest man to walk the face of the earth. You understand that? But when you go into Christian church, they want to teach you he's white, the white man is God, so as a result, when they shoot up churches, we got to forgive Dylan Roof Storm. You understand? Like, the white man came up here and said, y'all preaching hate. He did not say that when they killed Osama bin Laden. He did not say that, damn right, sis. He did not say that when they killed all the terrorists of Al-Qaeda. You know why? Because America should have killed them. Why? They harmed their people. They should have got the Boston bomber. I applaud America when they get justice. Don't try to stop me when I start talking about justice for our people. Because you want to know why white people don't want justice for us? Because they're the criminals. They're the ones who the sentence has to fall on. They're the ones who need to be punished. So as a result, they want to try to slide to the left real quick. And they'll try to turn around and say, well, Africans sold Africans. We're talking about your crimes right now. Don't worry about anything that we or another race did when Africans didn't sell Africans. Black man, I gotta wake you up real quick. You are not no goddamn African. You understand that? That's why Africans do not claim you. You feel me? Like straight up and down. That's why even Africans have a byword for black men and women in America. Nigerians will call you a kata, which means a cotton picker, because they're saying our ancestors didn't sell slaves. There are different nations and different tribes of people on this earth. Not all dark-skinned people are the same. And once again, it ain't got nothing to do with complexion. The proof is, they don't stop and frisk the Arabs in the street like they do black and Hispanics. They didn't choke out Habibi for selling us loose cigarettes. but they did Eric Garner. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because it ain't got nothing to do with complexion. It's got to do with who we are as a people. God only chose one race of people on the earth. That's the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's why we're the best at everything on the face of the earth. I'll prove it to you. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. God said he chose one people. And I'm about to see, well, let's see if this characteristic fits us. Let's see if these traits fit Black and Hispanics, or if it fits that little yarmulke, you understand, wearing punk down in Eastern Parkway. Because the white man can't never be no Jew, ever in life. They stole our identity. And that's why it's so easy to divide us. Because we don't know who the hell we are. If we don't know who the hell we are, how could we be united? It'll never happen. Instead, we want to be Christians and Muslims and this and that, and we're all too busy fighting each other instead of realizing what the hell we are, which is what God made us. Read what you got.
From the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
Let me ask y'all something. What does the word holy mean? Anybody know?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't.
Yo, you don't know? Listen, that's an honest answer. You understand? Not pure. It comes from the Hebrew word kodash. It means separate. God made us holy. He made us separate. He didn't make us to be integrated. When we decide to integrate, that's how we get gentrified. That's how you lose Harlem. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Meaning, God made us separate unto him. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
Now, you cannot tell a Black or Hispanic that they ain't special. You understand? You cannot tell us that we don't walk around like individually we're God's gift to the earth. You know the problem is? We don't recognize that in each other. We don't see that inside each other. Instead, because the world hates us, we gotta hate anybody who looks like us, and we become selfish. When individualism is the destruction of a nation, and that's why they can divide and conquer us so easily. Read.
Unto himself above all people.
Hold on. Equal to?
Above all people.
There is no equality in the earth. God said he made us how?
Above all people.
Above all people where?
That are upon the face of the earth.
Black and Hispanics everywhere. The same people they call niggas, spics, wetbacks, and illegal immigrants. God said we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. You are better than Donald Trump. You understand that? You are better than any of these bastards walking the street right now. Straight up and down. And don't tell me it's not true. What can white, or you know what? I'll take it off the white man for a brief second. What can the white man, the Arabs, the Africans, the East Indians compete with us on any level? Can any of those races sing better than us? No. Can any of them play basketball better than us? Baseball better than us? Tennis better than us? They let a black man play golf and he took over. You understand? Until he married a white woman who hit him in the head with a golf club. Since then he can't putt right. Message, stay away from white women. Otherwise you'll end up like Bill Cosby. It's very simple. God made us better than everybody else, so why are we trying to be equal with everybody else? The white man doesn't fight for equality, he fights for supremacy. So how the hell can we fight for equality with a man who's got a 400-year head start? A 400-year head start on intergenerational wealth. I will explain intergenerational wealth. Intergenerational wealth means that you have equity, finances, you understand? So that when I die, I leave a will to my son. My son gets my house, my bank account, my heirlooms that's worth money. What the hell do you do when your father rented for his whole life? If I rent my whole life, I don't own the building I'm in. If I don't own the building I'm in, I can't save money. What do I leave my son? Nothing. because we are behind on intergenerational wealth. When white people ate off of 400 years of free labor, 400 years of cotton money, 400 years of rice money, of sugar cane, of gold that they stole, that those Spanish ships stole so much goddamn gold from South America that the ships started to sink. They overloaded them, that the divers are still trying to dive to the depths to find those Spanish doubloons.
Right now.
Y'all see the problem? When God said we were above everybody, God didn't make us equal. So what the hell happened to us? Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. I'm about to show you that this book explains our life. It explains our time here in America. And why, if we're the best, why are we on the bottom of every single social economic structure? If you move to China, you're on the bottom. Let me tell you something. If you go back to Ghana, you're on the bottom. You understand? That's the problem here. Because we have to stick together. Just like every other race sticks together. We have to love each other first. Once we get ourselves together, then we could start talking about what we're going to do with this nation or that nation. But until then, they'll have more leverage over us. Damn all that. It's time that we start. You know what we need? We need our own power. And we don't have that. And the number one power that we have first and first mostly is the Most High power. And if we don't turn back to Him, we'll continue to be destroyed. Read.
From the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Our God told us that if we listen to Him diligently, read.
To observe and to do all His commandments.
To do all His commandments. You know what commandments are? Something that we hate inside the ghetto. Rules and regulations. Laws. It don't matter what. And I understand it, because in New York, you damn near need 2 jobs and a little bit of scamming to survive here. You understand? But we need to stop cutting corners when it comes to serving our God. Thank you, brother. Read.
I command thee this day that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
So, God told us in this book that His people would be above everybody else. So how are we on the bottom? If we're better at everybody, at everything, if we invented everything in America, literally, the street light, the stoplight, the furnace in your house was all invented by black men. You understand? Straight up and down. I mean, Jack Daniels was invented by a slave. It just started coming out now. They whitewashed history. We couldn't own patents. They wouldn't let you inside the patent office. I said this about 2 weeks ago. That's the only thing that the white man invented. You know what the white man invented? The patent office. He invented taking credit for what you built. You think I'm lying? Columbus discovered America. How the hell do you discover a place where there's pyramids that you couldn't even build? How do you discover a place with thriving civilizations? See the problem? All they do is take credit. So what the hell happened to us? I'll tell you right now. Drop down to verse 15.
Thank you, brother.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt hearken, thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall...
That all these what?
All these curses.
That all these curses, meaning what? It's nothing ooky spooky. Let's take the religion off of the Bible. Let's take the Christianity off of the Bible. That punishments from God would come on to our people. You want to know what's a punishment? The fact that the Bronx is infested with rats in some of the projects. Now, you know what? I'm going to show you another curse. Drop down to verse 48. These are some of the curses that fell upon us. The punishments that came upon us. Read.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy.
Thy who?
Thine enemy.
The white man.
Thine enemy.
The Asian.
Thine enemy.
The East Indian.
Thine enemy.
The Lord decided that we would serve our enemies. Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
You want to know why you got Whole Foods here instead of a black man's market? Because the Lord made sure that we would serve our enemies even in hunger. Read.
And in thirst.
You want to know why Flint, Michigan doesn't have clean water? Because the white man's in charge of our water supply. Read.
And in nakedness.
In nakedness. You want to know why we're wearing Adidas and the Giants and Echo and all these other clothes that's made by another race of people? Because we serve our enemies in everything. Where's our textile mills? Where's our utilities? Where's our factories? Read.
And in want of all things.
In what?
In all things.
For everything that we want, we gotta go march and beg a white man for, even for our lives. Even to say Black Lives Matter. You understand that? When realistically, why are we gonna tell our enemies that? Like when you say Black Lives Matter, who are you saying that to? You're saying it to the same person who's trying to murder you. That's like, how many of y'all heard of Freddy Krueger? Right? Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
That's like seeing a little white girl running from Freddy Krueger in her dream, and while she's running, she's saying, please, Freddy Krueger, help me. Freddy Krueger, help me. When Freddy Krueger's the one trying to kill you. So how do we have this person trying to murder us and then beg him to stop murdering us?
That's right.
It doesn't work like that.
That's right.
I'll take it a step further. Drop down to verse 68. Now I know, once again, for one of all things, one of those other things is education. If you look inside your child's history book right now, they're going to say that the transatlantic slave trade was the transatlantic migration. And that the African people, so-called, who came here, decided to come here as indentured servants, but then stayed as slaves. That's the historical narrative that they're trying to say about our people. That is a goddamn lie. But why am I bringing it up? Because everybody knows about the transatlantic slave trade. How many of you know that it was prophesied in the Bible that that was another punishment from God? Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, why is it saying Egypt? The word Egypt is a Greek word. Yeah, it comes from the Greek Egyptos. That word means bondage. Why did the Greeks name a land bondage? Because the ancient Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, the land of bondage. When you see Egypt inside of the Bible, it's synonymous with captivity. America is spiritually Egypt. Y'all didn't notice? Why do you think there's an Egyptian pyramid on the dollar bill? I know because of Tupac and all these conspiracy videos. You heard of the Illuminati? Freemasons? Well, the people who run this country are Freemasons. And they tried to rebuild America after the Temple of Horus, which is why Horus's pyramid is on that dollar bill, because they're the rebuilders of that temple. That's why you take a look at this sign right here. You're going to see a comparison between our slavery in ancient Egypt and our slavery inside of modern Egypt today, that is America. That's why when you go to Central Park, you see that thing that looks like a small Washington monument? Or if you've seen the Washington Monument, that's an obelisk. Well, the obelisk, peace brother, the obelisk was a symbol, a phallic symbol, lets you know who is in charge of Egypt. It would have a pharaoh's name on it. They're letting you know George Washington was the first pharaoh of America. So now, the Lord said, give me a second brother, the Lord said he would bring us into Egypt again. How?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get to America?
With ships.
How did they send the Puerto Ricans to Seville, Spain?
With ships.
How did they send the North American Indians to the Caribbean?
With ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more.
Meaning what? We would lose our homeland. We would lose everything that the Lord gave us. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto who?
Unto your enemies.
We were sold unto our enemies. This prophecy don't fit the fake Jew. God didn't say we would get put in ovens. Listen, even Hitler knew the Jews were black. Y'all look this up. Time even put it out in one of their books. I wish we had it here. where Hitler said he knew that the real Jews were black. He put propaganda all throughout Europe, where he would have a brother on a saxophone with a cartoon with the Shield of David, what people call the Star of David, pinned to him, to try to say jazz is black music, we should ban it from Germany. Hitler knew the Jews were black. Why do you think he put them white boys in the oven?
That's right.
You want to be black? We'll make you crispy. Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
You understand? For slaves. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
When it says no man shall buy you, it means redeemed, freed. And ain't nobody has been able to free us thus far. Nobody has been able to free us so far from America. You want to know why? Because in ancient Egypt, I told you America's spiritually Egypt. You want to know how we got free? We cried unto God. We didn't go and try to beg Pharaoh. We didn't turn to the same person who was oppressing us. Our prayers, our sighs went on to God. We got to stop relying on America. We got to stop relying on the Democrats and the Republicans to get us free when they both hate us.
Right.
Neither one of us is in our best interest.
That's right.
Black people were so afraid of Trump, they wanted to put Hillary in office. Meanwhile, Hillary's husband put more black men in prison under his administration than in the totality of American history.
Right.
He invented the 3-strike law.
Right.
None of them will save us. Give me Lamentations 4 and 17. I'm about to show you something. I'm about to show you why we fail. But guess what? After I finish showing us why we fail, I'm going to give you the solution. You understand? I'm going to give you the direct solution as to how we can rise out of this condition. I'm going to get with you, brother. Just bear with me. I'm locked in right now. I don't want to get off of it. Read what you got.
From the book of Lamentations, chapter 14, chapter 4, verse 17, Salaki. As for us, our eyes as yet fail.
Our eyes fail us every time we march, every time we vote, every time we try to beg, or every time we try to get free. Read.
For our vain help.
Vain help. The word vain means nothing. We don't get help. It's vain to ask America to help us when America is responsible for our condition.
Right.
Black and Hispanic man, don't let anybody tell you can't blame the white man for your problems.
That's right.
He put the drugs in the ghetto.
That's right.
He's the reason we didn't know our fathers. He's the reason our mothers OD'd. He's the reason we were in foster care.
That's right.
He's the reason we're in the ghettos.
That's right.
Don't tell me we can't blame him.
That's right.
Read.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation.
We watch a nation. We watch America. Read.
For a nation that could not save us.
Who can't save us? America only knows how to destroy us, man. They don't love us here. So why do we keep giving our love to them? My love only goes to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's it. We're the ones who need it. Like, what does America need from us? You went to the moon the same year we got on heroin. You run everything. We write graffiti and go to jail. You carve your face into a mountain. It's a national monument. Why do I have to give you my soul? My love? Damn that. Read.
Verse 18. They hunt our step.
They what?
They hunt our step.
What did they do to Trayvon Martin?
Hunt our step.
What did they do to Sandra Bland?
Hunt our step.
What did they do to Eric Garner?
Hunt our step.
What did they do to John Hernandez?
Hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. Where?
That we could not go into our streets.
Mike Brown died on his block. Eric Garner died on that street corner. How many others that we don't know about that aren't named? They hunt our steps. Read.
Our end is near.
And we live like our end is near. That's why you watch a movie, they're talking ride or die. That's why you got Drake and them making songs like YOLO, you only live once. Driving drunk. That was his last tweet, then he wrapped around a pole. Read.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days are fulfilled. We live like we wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Read.
For our end is come.
Our what?
Our end is come.
That's how we live inside of America. This is in the book of Lamentations. To lament is sadness, depression, crying out. That's our life inside of America. Inside this book that's 6,000 years old. When did your pastor show you this? He took grandma's tithes though. He bought that Rolls Royce though. He fixed the roof of the church though. But when you were late on rent, did he help you? Nah, when grandma died, he billed her grandson for the tithe she owed while she was on hospice. Because Christianity ain't our religion. And they make us forgive the white man. That's why, you want to know the proof that Christianity destroys us? Dylan Roof Storm hunted our steps inside that African Methodist church. Killed 9 parishioners. Grandma, auntie, the pastor, everybody. And then the family of them forgave him. And said they would invite him back to the church for another Bible study. So what, so he could do it again? When are we going to learn? When are we going to realize who's on our team, who's our ally, and who's our enemy?
That's right. Right.
That's what we got to do. Because I tell you what, if a black man would have shot up that church, they would have been yelling, crucify him. You understand that? If it would have been a brother, they never would have forgave him. What does that say about us? We better start forgiving each other. We better start having... They won't forgive Kodak Black for talking about Lauren London.
Right.
Meanwhile, Lauren London's father's white.
Right.
Just throwing it out there. But y'all won't forgive Kodak for talking about Nipsey. Just talking. Kaepernick Neal, they still watch football.
Right.
Let me tell you something though. In here, we don't kneel for the white man. We put the white man on his knees and let him kiss our boots.
Right.
You understand? That's the difference between us and everybody else. Now, you can go on YouTube and see this. We do it from here to Texas to the UK. You understand? Because that's the white man's actual position.
That's right.
You understand? Like, the white man's supposed to serve you. He's supposed to be our servant. Remember, God said we're supposed to be above everybody else. How the hell are we cleaning his office buildings? How the hell are our daughters taking care of his grandparents and so on and so forth? Ain't no sister should have to wipe a white man's behind.
That's right.
Y'all kidding me? They supposed to be serving us. Well, guess what? There is good news. You understand? There is great news. What, sis, what'd you say? We are in captivity now. You know what? Now here's where I'm going to go. I told you that there's hope, right? I told you that there's good news. You got to want it, though. The sister used a very good word, captivity.
Right.
Give me Revelations 13 and 9. I'm about to show you something very important. Because there is justice in this book called the Bible.
That's right.
Something that we are very foreign to. Something that we don't receive inside of America. There is justice here. This is the New Testament. It's the last book of the Bible, Revelations. This is a future prophecy. Provided if we do something. You want to know what it is? Remember, we got put on the slave ships. Why? Who's paying attention? My brother right here. Why? You don't know? We're going to take a guess? Why? Remember earlier, I read the curses. Why did the curses come upon us? You weren't paying attention. Sis?
Be so.
Give her a hand. Because God said he'd give us the earth, and we said, let's worship white Jesus. God said we'd run the planet, just don't eat pork. But we got to bless that swine, right? God said he would give us a royal inheritance if we could love our brother as ourselves. Instead, we want to sell him crack that the white man put in our neighborhoods. If we could refrain from destroying each other, if we can refrain from opposing ourselves, guess what God will do for us? Read.
From the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Listen to this good if you got some ears. If you got some understanding. Read.
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that led into captivity. Sis, you said we're in captivity. Who led us into captivity? The white man. Get his brother a hand. We got a brave brother out here. You understand? Read.
Shall go into captivity.
Guess what? If we turn back to the Most High power, the white man's going into captivity. He's gonna sweep your streets, black man. He's gonna cut your sugar cane, pick your cotton. You understand? Pour you lemonade on a hot day. Maybe not me. If I make it, I promise you, my white slaves ain't working above ground. I promise you. There ain't gonna be no house crackers. Read.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Ain't nobody did more killing with the sword than the so-called white man. He killed 99 million so-called Negroes just crossing the Atlantic, just on the voyage to the Middle Passage. 77 million North American Indians. 25 million so-called Mexican Indians. Another 70 million Taino and Arawak Indians in the Caribbean. Killed them with the sword. White men, women, and children must be killed with the sword. And I'm going to tell you what that sword is. We are the true prophets of God. Your pastor is a false prophet. He lied to you. He wants your tithe money. He wants that G5 jet, but he doesn't want to fix our condition. Commandant General Yahanna and the brothers on this corner right now who operate with him will.
That's right.
Because we want to see our enemies destroyed so that our people can rise. And this is how it's going to happen. Thermonuclear warfare. The Third World War was prophesied inside this book. And the entire point of us being on the street is to wake our people up so that we can be delivered before we get destroyed with our oppressors. Because though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So if you want to hold hands with little white babies, with white women, with white men, guess what? You could die with him when God sends his judgment to America. Anybody else who don't want that? Anybody else who wants to learn how to reverse this condition? You grab a fire, man. You understand? You come and you stop celebrating Thanksgiving. Stop celebrating the 4th of July. This Saturday's the Passover, man. You want to know what the Passover is? It's when God destroyed Egypt and let my people go. You understand? And guess what? There'll probably be another feast after God destroys America. And then we'll thank him again for that every year. The same way we did after that Passover. The same way after he passed over our children and killed our enemies' children. God could do it again. You know what he's waiting on? He's waiting on us to change. He's waiting on us, like the sister said, to stop spitting in his face. To start obeying what he said. Like any father does. If you have kids and your kids disobey, you punish them. If they listen to you, you reward them. Christianity told you you were a child of God. The problem is they didn't tell you how to obey your father. Instead, they gave us a pass to disobey him. With that, I'm going to give it back to the brother.
Shalom Israel, the ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Big 5-0, the 50th annual Lord's Passover. Commanding General Yahanna bought out the entire hotel. Lock in your hotel room now. For more info, contact Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Call now to secure your room for the Passover. To get your rooms at a a low rate. Call Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Friday, Hebrew Academy Trials. Saturday, the Passover. Sunday, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let's all celebrate under one roof. What the Most High did to the Egyptians.
Kill them all and done. Kill them all and done. Tall rifle all and done. Boy like a done.